This is it right here. This is a soft plastic stick bait, also known as a Senko, or a stinger, or a dinger, or an ace, or a trick stick, or a shimmy stick, or a zero, or a zinker. That might be all I got. Okay, so this is a soft plastic stick bait. When I'm fishing in the springtime, I'm either rigging it wacky or Texas style. Now, both of those two scenarios, they have their time in place. If I felt like I needed to get a bite, wasn't worried about any of those other extracurriculars that might be going on with this bait, I felt like a wacky rig gets you more bites. Now, I've caught my bigger bags on the Texas style one because a lot of times when you're fishing around spawning areas, you're fishing around grass, you're fishing around wood, you need that weedless approach. So throwing it around trees and lily pads and things like that, I like to rig it Texas style. I can give it a little bit heavier line. 15-pound test is about as heavy as I ever go on this bait when I'm rigging it weightless. It gives it a really good fall. You go above 15-pound line, you're really going to cut out from the action, not get nearly as many bites. But it's caught some really big bags for me with 15-pound tests. Now, the wacky rig, to me, gets you more bites. You can skip it a lot better. And it just seems like you can throw it further. It works really well on a spinning rod, and it just fishes all around better. You catch more on a wacky. But like I said earlier, you can't always have that wacky rig because it gets hung up. If you're fishing around grass, you're fishing around wood, it's going to be a pain if you can't get your bait back to the boat. So each situation has its place. I think of a story on Santee Cooper. I was catching them really good, rigging it Texas style. I was throwing around cypress trees. There was some bank grass, all kinds of cover around, lily pads, things like that. So I needed it Texas style. Well, my co-angler whipped out the wacky rig, same bait, was throwing it around and really started doing some damage back there, and I wasn't hardly catching them. And that was an eye-opening experience because, it seems like the exact same thing. You're just rigging it a little bit different. But something about this bait falling like that opposed to it being Texas style and it just kind of shimming down to the bottom, it's just a better bait wacky. But if you need to fish it around heavier cover, you want to put it on a bait caster, you want to throw it on bigger line, that Texas style is still going to get a lot of bites. Either way you fish it, you're catching a lot of fish. So if you're on a lake that's really fishing good, I typically like to just rig it Texas style because I'm not worried so much about how many bites I'm going to get. I feel like I'm going to get enough bites. If you're fishing a lake that's tough, you're struggling to get a bite, that wacky rig is the way to go. So these both techniques have their purpose. They both work really well for this bait. So if you're going to fish in the springtime, you've got to have this bait rigged up. It flat out catches them. It catches spawning fish. It catches pre-spawn, post-spawn, brim spawn. It's just a great all-around bait. And it's something, if you haven't thrown it, you need to learn it. So try this bait out, guys. Good luck to you, and I'll see you on the water.